All right, so we are going to do the steps of our clay project, our Notan designs today. So you'll have this lovely little stencil. The first thing you need to do is lay it on your clay. We're going to trim off the excess so that we have a square to start our tile with, because unfortunately the clay does not come exactly square. All right, when you've got all those pieces, you can put that off to the side. Just kind of crumple these off to the edge for right now. We're not going to need them for the project. Then just with your finger real quick, dip in some water, smooth out any lines or bumps or rough areas. Sometimes things get a little uneven. You're then going to flip the whole thing over, do the same thing on the back. You can see I have little lines from when I use the cutting tool. I also want you to just kind of make sure this edge here is not super sharp. We want it to be crisp, but not so sharp that it's going to cut you when you are done firing it, because it becomes like glass. So I'm going to use the pointed end of my tool here, and I'm going to write my name fairly big across the middle. Now this might get chopped up, but at least it's there to start with. And then we flip that back over. Okay, again, smooth out any last thing. Now, in class previously, you've made your Notan design plan. So what you're going to do now is follow this plan to cut out from your tile right here. So if we zoom in a little. Oh, Sabrina's saying it's almost dinner time. If we have our lovely tile right here and our design right over here, I can see from this side I'm cutting out something that's going to look like this. And now it does not have to be exactly like what you planned it to be. We just want kind of close. You'll also notice I'm not cutting all the way through my slab. So if I come and show you this edge here, you can see I'm just drawing in the surface. I'm not actually cutting all the way through just yet. Then I'm going to do this guy over here. Oh, I don't like that at all. All you gotta do, get your finger wet. Yeah, all you gotta do, Sabrina, is get the little finger wet, your little paw, and then just redraw the line the way you actually want it. Maybe something more like this. At this stage, you could be using either end of the tool as well. So down here, I can go like this. I'm going to vary the heights of these just because I want to add a little bit more interest to them. Again, all of our cuts need to start and stop on an edge. I can then go back in and add more detailed pieces to the inside. Over here. Now this is where my design stops. Oh, hello. Are you going to come on screen soon? Please don't lick the clay. Okay, thank you. Sorry, you can't see her, but she's right over there. Oh, maybe we're about to see her in a second. Say hi. This is Sabrina. This is the loud and crazy. Now we're going to put you on the floor because you don't belong up here. Okay. So I can actually have extra space here. So like maybe inside of here, I want to do another one. And maybe over here, I'm going to do another one over there. She's got the zoomies. She's very excited about this process. Okay, I'm going to pause the camera right here, cut all of these pieces out, and then come back. Now that I have it all laid out, I'm literally just gonna take the knife tool and cut all the way through the block. But you don't need to watch me do all of that because it's a bit repetitive. So be back in a second. All right, and we're back. So I have all the pieces cut. The only thing I wanted to mention is that as you're cutting, if you find the blade starts picking up a bunch of clay, just wipe it off with your finger real quick. Again, these aren't sharp. They're not gonna, kill your hands. You just gotta be a little careful with them. I now have cut out all of my lovely pieces. Oh, I lied. I forgot to cut this one over here. I do want to remember that when I'm cutting, I cut with the blades straight up and down. I don't want to like angle, like you're holding a pencil on like a 45-degree angle. I want them straight up and down. Otherwise you're gonna cut underneath. So just like with the henna hand, where when you go around your hand, you don't want to trace underneath and get skinny fingers. You don't want to do the same thing here. Now that I've actually cut all of my pieces, I can start separating them. Now you want to be careful not to like warp and destroy or distort them. You want them all to be able to interlock like a jigsaw puzzle still. And let's put that out of the way. So you're gonna line these all up the way they would go together if they are flipped correctly. So we're gonna go like this, and like this, and like this. And so this is basically my Notan design. I think I have to zoom out a little bit. Oh, wrong way. There we go. So this is basically what my Notan is gonna look like. Done with the cutting, now I have to label all my pieces and smooth all my edges. So I want to make sure that I'm labeling with the pointy end of the tool. Put your initials on the bottom. I'm just going to write art, because it's only 3, of each piece. It's going to take a while, I know. On each of your pieces, this way when they come out of the kiln, I can still figure out without having to do 30 jigsaw puzzles to figure out whose pieces are whose. You want to make sure you also don't accidentally write yours on the top here, because this piece is going to be flipped up. You want to make sure you're doing this with all of your pieces flipped the correct direction. So like this one goes on the bottom, flip it over. Here I still have my name. We can add back like a little bit of name. Art over here. Now you'll notice over here some of my name is showing. Again, that's a quick little dip your finger in your cup of water, smooth it out like it was never there. Art. I'll try to do this very quickly. All right, last 2. Okay. The last step of this project for the clay building part is to go around all of your pieces, picking up one at a time, dip in, and you just want to go around all the edges so that there's nothing super sharp. You just want to round them just a little bit. You don't want to destroy the whole shape. You don't want to make it so that you've completely soaked the shape so that it's this giant, messy, slimy, gross thing. You just want to go on all the edges, top and bottom. You want to look at the side, make sure these are nice clean cuts. This is a nice smoothed out piece. It's not going to cut us later. It hasn't been misshapen. It can fit right back there. You'll repeat that for the whole rest of this, and then your clay project is ready to be fired.